Yo, what is going on, guys and girls around the world? It's your boy Sethio coming at you from the Viewpoint TV with an obvious guest. You've seen him in the previous couple episodes. What's your name again?
Steve Kommer.
Okay, and we are both active college students who attend the University of Pittsburgh. I'm not going to tell you which campus specifically because then you'll come like try and get our signature or something. It's not like that.
No, not yet.
It's not like that.
Got restraining orders on all of you, so watch from home, and that's fucking it.
We have campus police. They do nothing, but they'd love to. They're very bored. I seen them give some guy a ticket because he just sat and parked inside of a handicap spot waiting for his girlfriend to come out of class.
Little anecdote, I got pulled over on campus the other day.
For what? What'd you do?
So it started
Skipped class.
No.
Even worse.
They saw me driving around and I didn't have a parking pass.
Driving around?
Driving around and didn't have, yeah, tell me how that makes sense. And then they said that I failed to stop at a stop sign. And then they said that my insurance and my license was out of date. They followed me around campus.
Right.
And then I was leaving campus. They flicked their lights on and had me pull over. Dude, let me tell you, I was so pissed.
Yeah.
Like
how long did they keep you?
Like 20 minutes, and I have viral pneumonia, so they have me roll down both my windows while it's hot in the car and cold outside, so I'm coughing and hacking along nonstop for this woman to just harass me.
Right.
To just waste my time. She was like, I don't know, early 70s, 5'2", barely above midget status, and she just kept beating around campus. You're not really completely stopping at stop signs. You don't have a parking pass, and not only that, your paperwork is out of date. But she told me that 30 seconds of conversation after coming to my car, waiting 2 minutes, asking for my information, going back to her car for 10 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes to then call back up to then have that other cop stand at the other side of my car looking in the whole time that she tells me this for 30 seconds, just snooping around looking for stuff. Like,
so bored. Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I like to compare D3 sports team, D3 police force. That's exactly what it is.
Thanks, Paul Blart.
At our campus. Yeah,
I'd consider Paul Blart D1, but you know,
I
don't even get that.
It's so funny how they talk about like parking pass. How much are you spending on tuition? Ballpark per semester?
Maybe $7,000.
$7,000, and that's not even what most people are spending.
No,
they're spending like $23,000.
My brother goes to the University of Kentucky. It's about $80,000 a year. And
they have to pay parking passes out of this world.
He pays like 11 times as much.
The Penn State parking pass is like $1,000 a semester. $1,000.
Now, to be fair, I've never purchased a parking pass my entire college career.
Me either, and I haven't gotten a single ticket yet.
I haven't either.
I'm fighting it. I'm going for it.
I told my parents about, I got pulled over for not having a parking pass, and I excluded the fact that I failed to stop at a stop sign completely or whatever. But they were like, you should just buy the parking pass, they're going to not let you graduate or whatever. I'm like, if they gave me a ticket, I'd buy one, but they didn't even give me a ticket. She literally held me hostage for like 15 to 20 minutes to just give me a stern warning and to slow down as I'm rolling around. But like, you pull me over for not having a parking pass, but meanwhile, I could have just dropped someone off. I might not even be a student.
Yeah,
so you're going to waste my time to question me for not having a parking pass when I wasn't even parked?
Yeah.
Like, are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, this is a perfect bridge to go into the subtopic of tuition prices. I mean, we're just talking about not having a parking pass, which is a $50 payment. Why do we have to pay $75 to park on campus whenever we've already spent $13,000? We really have to look into where our tuition's going.
What really pisses me off more than anything, I don't buy a parking pass because, one, I'm on campus for like an hour to 2 hours a day max. We pay the same price as someone that lives on campus to leave their car there almost 24 hours a day.
That's a good point.
Who also doesn't move their car, but what they they're not supposed to, but they do move their car to the main lot and the auxiliary lots and whatever. Not the lots. They don't keep their car in front of their dorm or whatever whenever they go to class. They drive to the main lots closer so that they don't have to walk that far, which is lazy because our campus really isn't all that big.
It's not even a square mile.
No, I don't think so. Then whenever I try and roll up to class and be there early so that I can go in maybe 10 minutes so I can sit down, get adjusted, converse with my friends and whatnot, I can't find a spot and I make 15, 20 loops and then I'm 10, 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
So why am I going to pay for a parking pass to not have a spot to be on time to class?
Right. Going off the tuition thing, I'm very intrigued by this topic, and I actually ended up taking some of my free time to actually look into it for my specific campus, and I highly encourage the viewer, if you go to a different college, look into it. Go on Google It's all public statistics. How many kids attend your school and faculty? And then you look up the average tuition price, multiply that by how many kids go to your school, and then subtract the faculty salaries. It is unbelievable.
The faculty makes dirt.
About 50 grand a year, 40 grand.
Max.
Yeah,
Max.
especially at a
tax.
branch campus like this.
Yeah.
But you actually look into that, and the profit margin on the college system is absurd. It's unbelievable.
It's rigged.
It's a
rigged system.
Yeah, I think Greensburg brings in, I think, 31 million a year, and they disperse like 4 million to pay their faculty.
I wonder what the other overhead is though, like food service and whatnot.
They feed us shit.
I mean, I don't eat on. I've never
It's
eaten
gonna
on
be
campus, so I don't know.
sure, it's an expense, but I mean, talk about water usage and electric.
Well, speaking of which, actually, one of my clients that owns a barbecue restaurant on 30.
Yeah.
He is now the assistant director or director of the, I don't know what you would call it, food court, cafeteria, whatever.
Yeah.
I was talking to him, and he was like, you know, getting all these loads of food trucks and whatever is pain in the ass because it's all frozen shit.
Yeah.
There's not a single fresh thing that comes through these doors, and like they'll have special events or whatever. And I talked to him more about it because as someone who markets for his business, you know, I said, well, what about we approach them and say like, hey, once a month we'd like to cater for the students. You know, generate some more money in his pocket, but I don't know if that would be considered double dipping or a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
But if they're willing to work with him to let him run his business on the side and do this too, you know, I figure, you know, it's at least worth a shot.
Yeah.
And it at least gives people an opportunity to get food that's better than the shit garbage that they're getting fed right now.
It's crazy. Whenever they invite people to this campus.
Oh, the food's totally different, I have to imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, even whenever I went to visit my brother in Kentucky, he goes to UK, like main campus, Lexington. I forget what it's called. The 90, I think, is what their big food court type cafeteria thing is called. The food was so good, and then we went back down on a non-family weekend or whatever, and it was garbage.
Yeah.
It tasted like I remember distinctly that their pizza was like decent. It was like not phenomenal, but it was like Papa John's Domino's level for like a college campus, which I imagine being like decent considering everything else.
Yeah.
But then we went back and it was like cardboard crust that was super thin, super dense.
Yeah.
Tasted frozen.
Right.
Even though it was hot. It was like, you know, you guys really put on a nice front for the people that are spending the money, but you're really giving them dog shit to the people.
Reeling them in.
Reeling them in.
That's all you can say. And going off of this, like all the profit, all the cheap foods, the overheads can't be that expensive. All of this profit, I better have a really expensive piece of paper whenever I graduate. It's just printed out of one of the campus printers, and it has my name on it. So that brings us into, we're paying 80 grand for 4 years of education. Do you think our diploma is actually worth that much?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, average person, you're probably looking between 120 to 200K.
Yeah.
You know, especially for a state school or a larger institution. I know if we went to Pitt, Maine, you'd be looking closer to like 32 grand a year.
Yeah. So do you think any diploma in this world has that number on it? Would you go to an auction and buy a diploma for 200 grand?
Well, let me answer your question with a question. Do you know what I plan on doing with my diploma once I get it? I'm using it as marketing material. I'm going to piss on my diploma.
Yeah.
That's what it's worth.
That's my goal as well. I just want to prove to people that I can go to school, get this diploma, and it means nothing. I'm a YouTuber. I'm going to school for physical therapy, one of the hardest and longest degrees. It's going to be a 6-year program, and I'm going to be a doctor. But then I'm just going to throw it all away and be a YouTuber. That's the plan.
Dude, I mean, the world is everybody's oyster anymore, and as much as you need a professional degree to do things like you're rendering medical advice and services to other people, if that's not what you want to do, it's not what you want to do. Mm-hmm. You know? I mean, you could YouTube how to be a physical therapist. I mean,
I've learned more about the body on YouTube.
Yeah, people won't necessarily take you more seriously if that's the case, and I don't think you could legally practice medicine if that's the case.
One thing I was thinking about on YouTube, speaking of like practicing medicine, I was thinking and brainstorming about a YouTube channel about like fitness and like the background of physical therapy, like helping people out, making videos about how to make your knee better if you tear your ACL. And initiating the video, I'd have scrubs on, all a joke, and I would say, I'm a self-proclaimed physical therapist.
Do not take this shit for what I say.
Don't take it seriously. I'm not a doctor. I just say I'm a doctor, and I think it would be comedic. I said that I was self-proclaimed But it's kind of like the fine print on an
Yeah.
agreement. Like, nobody's going to hear that self-proclaimed part, and they're just going to listen to me.
See, this is where I think you might run into an issue because it is a felony to impersonate a doctor. So if you say that even if you aren't, the fact that you're still trying to render the same advice that a doctor would give, I think that at that point in time, you might have some legal trouble. But
Didn't know that. The more you know. I didn't learn that type of stuff in the classroom.
no, you learned it right here at The Viewpoint.
The Viewpoint TV. Like this video, subscribe if you want to see more content like it. Had to plug that in.
Shameless plugs for the.
So going off of that, after spending this 80 grand, you finally have your paper, and the YouTube channel is no longer a possibility because it's a felony. Do you think there's any pros to getting a degree?
You know, as I know I say this in every video I'm in, but as a business owner who